Hello, everyone. So we are here with a very special member of the Topical Authority community and the course. And I can tell that maybe he is the most successful member of entire community as well. And I don't know the exact number, but I guess he sold his website over 10 million euros or maybe something like that. I am just guessing. Would you like to clarify that, Matyas?
Actually, I can't come up with the exact number because of, due to the contract. Yeah, but it was a good amount.
Too much millions, let's say, or too many millions.
Yeah, it was a good amount.
And one day, actually, I was working on some other projects. I got a very kind, very good email. And when I read it, actually, I felt like I am the happiest person on the planet. I directly shared it with James Dooley, whom I also admire and love as a mentor and as a friend. And he also felt really happy too, because when you create some new ideas in the SEO field, you need also some approval from the community, from other practitioners as well. So thank you so much for that email that helped me to actually, for that day. And also thank you for accepting this interview request, to explain what you have done with the guidelines, SOPs, or the teachings from our community.
Yeah, thank you for all the good knowledge and inviting me. It's an honor. I'm very happy.
It's always a pleasure. So during this interview, I will be directly trying to know Matyas from different angles. It won't be just for SEO, but if you are a search engine optimization consultant, agency owner, or if you are trying to actually run your own business based on the SEO, it might be a local business, it might be a comparison aggregation website, or it might be anything. I believe Matyas' story will be carrying a really huge importance for you because there is a really successful person in front of us. So we will be talking about actually his background, his mindset, his life understanding, and what type of business decisions he is giving and how he become that level of successful. And the first question actually will be very simple, and it's where are you from? Who you are exactly?
Yeah. So my name is Matyas Dios. I'm soon 32 years old in November. And I am born and raised in Sweden, but I'm also half Hungarian. So that's my name is not typically Swedish. And maybe I don't look 100% typical Swedish either. But so my mother is Hungarian and my father is Swedish.
It's a perfect combination, actually. And I really like your name. And first, I also thought that actually very interesting Swedish person, I can tell. Well, I can also tell that your eyes are definitely Scandinavian, and your beard is coming from the Hungary, maybe. I can tell.
Yeah. Actually, I hear it very often when I'm in Hungary. People think I'm Turkish.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I can also tell that we are a little bit alike. I can tell that I have seen many people like you. And could you explain how did you start working? What was your first job, for instance?
I've always been very interested in making businesses. So even when I was very, very young, I mean like 11, 12 years old, I started to trade things. It could be whatever, like Pokemon cards, and try to come up with, instead of earning money, it could be stuffs as a child. And then when I was, I think, 14 years old, I started to work during the summer. And it was in a construction company. So, but then after I finished school, I got my first real job, which was as a sales agent. And that's really also opened up a new part of my life. And I realized I'm very good at this. I can live from this. So after I took that job, my goal was to, I will do sales my entire life. But things change. Things change.
Really nice beginning, actually, because I also remember that when I was a child, I was selling lemons in the bazaar in Istanbul. And I was also working during the summer for just repairing for cars or different type of things. Well, I believe every kid should start from there. Like it opens your mind and it creates new reflexes. So it's good to see that similarity, actually.
Yeah, definitely. It helped my mind and the way of thinking that you had to do something to get something.
Yeah, definitely. Life is like a give and take, and there is a balance between that. And when you were a sales agent, what were you selling for the first time?
It was internet subscriptions.
Nice.
Yeah. So, sorry?
It's a very nice place to start actually for selling it. And I guess maybe you thought about maybe you can create a website for comparing internet service providers later.
Actually, I did, and I sold it. So I did that as well. Yeah, for sure.
And I guess it just introduced you to the search engine optimization, maybe.
Yeah, it did. Actually, first, after I did this sales job, and then I'll become headhunted to the capital in Sweden, in Stockholm, to another competitor. But they also provided the TV subscriptions, where I also did a great job. And but I have a colleague, and we really wanted to do something new. Started to earning more money, and started to discuss to open up some kind of business.
And this was like 10 years ago, maybe, or
even more. It was in 2010. Yeah, 2010. So 14 years ago.
And you were like even younger than 18 years old.
18. I was 18. Yeah. So it was in the end of 2010.
Yeah. I guess it's a great example for the kids who want to go to this college. Maybe I'm not telling that they shouldn't go, but you don't need always go to the university or college. Like you can start your own college by working actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you hear about the SEO first time? When did you meet with this discipline?
Yeah, it was me and my friend. We wanted to start our kind of own business. And of course, we was thinking about doing some related to the sales experience that we have, even if we have only did it for half year. But, we were thinking we were God in this. We can teach other people about this. Yeah. So we're trying to create an ebook. And then the idea was to open up a website and sell it online. So we went to Fiverr. And try to find somebody, who can help us first to build the website. And then how are we gonna, reach out to people? And then we found out this special category, search engine optimization. So first we got the website, and then we started to purchase, some consultation for on-page optimization and, blast of 10,000 backlinks.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it was very early times.
Yeah.
And do you miss these years? Like, do you think that these years were easier to rank anything, or it was more fun, more direct, maybe?
It was definitely easier to rank. You could do almost whatever, and you didn't get any penalized by Google, and it was really easy. And especially in Sweden, that you can just blast, keyword stuffing, and purchase a lot of bulk backlinks package, and it worked. It really worked.
Yeah, I also miss actually sometimes these days. It was very much easier, very much more direct as well. You didn't need to wait a core update for months to just see the results. So I guess it's the main difference. And about your colleague or your friend, do you still talk to him like a childhood friend? Are you connected?
Yeah, and actually he's also now in this industry. So his name is Jorge Castro. He's also quite well known in the industry, and also especially in Sweden, and also working with growth marketing and running a successful SEO agency.
Happy to know that. And also I would like to say hi to him from here. I believe he'll also be watching this. And I believe you both were lucky. I guess you both were training each other by sharing information. And do you think that anyone who starts SEO, they need a friend like this, like to learn or to stay alert, or they should actually continue alone, do you think? Sometimes they ask me this, like, do I need a partner?
No, I wouldn't say you need a partner. And, from my own perspective, after that, all my websites I have been running alone. And because I like to do things in my own way.
Yeah, more flexible, more direct.
Yeah.
So this is the suggestion that you give then. Rather than having a partner, maybe people should actually consider being alone in their website endeavors.
Yeah, definitely. But otherwise, if you will partner up with somebody, I would say partner up with somebody who can do the other part of the job with building the website, a coder and AI automation.
If you actually know the same stuff and do the same stuff, then it will be very hard. It's like
in
one ship. Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to also talk about a little bit your educational background. For instance, do you think that university or college, did it help you, or is completely irrelevant, completely unnecessary?
Due to what I'm doing today, it was...
mostly for business, for life overall.
Yeah. Of course, it's good to go to school, and it's not heavy to carry knowledge. So, and I also have 2 kids, so I will, of course, suggest them, to go to university. Yeah. And, but at the same time, I was also struggling a lot in school, due to lack of paying attention and focusing on stuff that I don't think it's relevant enough or interesting me. So I would also say it, and the things that interested me, it went too slow. Yeah. So in high school, when we were starting to check on coding and the programming and web development and stuff like that, it went so slow. So I mean, something that take half a year or 1 year, we could do it in 1 month and then keep on doing the next stuff.
One of the main things that I also think. For instance, I'm actually graduated from the advertisement communications and design, but I could finish that university like in 1 year. No need for 4 years for that.
Yeah.
You can just send an agency after 1 year and we will be still good. I guess one of the main things there, maybe they try to keep people there for 4 years out of some reasons. I don't know. But overall, I believe you suggest going university and you believe that it is helping people in the business life deeply.
But due to myself, I didn't went to university. It was only high school, since I was only 18 when I stopped going to school. But I would highly suggest. I also have my wife's smaller brother. He is now in the high school, and I told him when you're done in high school, you're going to university, you will get the master in computer science, and you will work with me. So I would highly suggest people to
go to the university
if they like it. Yeah. But it's not of course 100% necessary. You can definitely success, in other ways, and you can teach yourself. You can go to holistic SEO and your approach, and that way as well. You get so much more out of it. But it's not bad. But I wouldn't say it's definitely not necessary or mandatory.
Yeah, especially for SEO field, I always wanted to see actually search engine optimization is a discipline in the university with proper standardization and with proper search engine understanding. Rather than just actually trying things randomly, we can actually learn some academic stuff for understanding some algorithms or some engineers that from their angle. But until now, I was able to see only maybe just PHP programs, PhD programs, but nothing like a regular licensing or something like that. So it's very disorganized discipline, I can tell. And it's very hard to standardize too. If you go to the Thailand or Southeast Asia for, let's say, casino SEO, you will see hacked hospitals are ranking there. So there is a dilemma. Shall I teach kids to hack hospital to rank? So there is always this type of dilemmas there, because as SEOs, our job is ranking no matter the cost is. So there is always these ethical questions there as well. Okay. I also want to learn, do you enjoy reading books, or do you spend any time for reading anything?
Yeah, I do. And I also listening a lot to e-books, or what is called in English. This voice books. Audiobooks. Audiobooks. But I enjoy reading. I do. But I mainly enjoy reading stuff connected in any way to either history or psychology or personal development. And that was
what type of history are you enjoying to read?
Sorry?
What type of history? What centuries or what areas of history?
It's with the human evolvement during the years, and also and also related to economy. So I can see, and get a better understanding in my business perspective what have happened during the years, and you can also see patterns with recurring stuff that happened during the years. Yeah.
And I believe you use this information for your own investments or managing.
Okay,
that's nice.
Definitely.
And would you maybe suggest some books to start somewhere if someone wants to understand maybe history of finance or financial instruments, books or articles, whatever you want?
Yeah. I would say Rich
Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, exactly. That book. That is definitely good.
It's a really nice book, actually. I can tell.
Yeah.
I was really having.
And there is also. Sorry.
When I was reading it, it was really fun, actually.
Yeah. And I will also have another book called Surrounded by Idiots. It's by a Swedish author, but it's also well known, and it's existing in English as well. It's connected to this kind of personalities with the colors, and it gives you a good understanding. It's also great.
I will definitely
it's also
read it. Yeah, it's a nice one. The funniest thing in the first book, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, I guess at the beginning of the book, they were trying to sell toothpaste or cartoons or something. And they were complaining about employees. The author directly was telling that they were like 12 or 13. And they were telling that I understood how hard it is to find a proper or good, talented, ethical employee. And from there, and for anyone who listens, by the way, all these questions are improvised. We are just talking regularly. So that's why actually we have a different flow. And I would like to ask, how do you hire? Do you think that human resources is really hard in SEO? What type of a team did you create to manage and sell this specific website?
And I would say it's definitely hard. I would say it's hard to find the right type of persons, but it also depends, because I also ran an SEO agency before, and it was definitely easier to hire for that kind of position. But when you're working in a super competitive niche where every single piece of content and part of the website has to be done in a proper and correct and right way, related to our guidelines or SOPs and stuff like that, it's really, really hard. I would say it's really hard.
And if the employee doesn't understand, does it make you depressed sometimes, like repeating the same guideline to the same person multiple times? How do you feel and how do you manage it?
Yeah, that's my issue. Sometimes I can really get, angry because I'm so committed to this. This is as important as my family, to success with my websites. I'm getting deadly invested with my life into it. That's the most important I have, in an unhealthy way sometimes. So yes, definitely. And that's really something that can.
And do you believe in fast or slow hire and fast fire mentality? Do you also regularly fire and regularly hire people?
No, I don't like to regularly hire people because it takes a lot of time to educate them.
It's very hard.
So there was somebody told me a couple of years ago how much the expense was in hiring the wrong person, and I didn't understand what it says. And now I realize, it costs a lot of money, from resources and investment of time. And
the biggest danger, I believe, is not the competitor. It is the wrong employee, because employee directly is inside and they can do real damage to any project without even noticing. And
100%.
One of the main factors there. And do you, I believe, have some lots of different SOPs for different tasks, and maybe you also have some video recordings to fasten the process?
Yeah, a lot. We have done a lot of videos, and that's really something that I've invested so much time in creating and analyzing stuff and create my own SOPs, guidelines, and also with the AI, of course, it has helped a lot. So we can summarize and then ran the piece of content or parts of the website through our own guidelines to evaluate the output to get a better understanding. But still, some things related to the way of thinking and the things that has to be just logic and that you really just has to learn. It can be hard to put on print, in words and from every single different angles. So, but we have a lot of internal documentation and videos. So I always bring it to a new employee, and then there is an exam after before they're allowed. And I always put them on not the most important website that we have, of course, to make sure that everything is going as expected.
And in this case, you keep the same employee, you put trust and time and also money to train them. But I believe after a point, they also become more loyal and more, let's say, friendly to the company and to the leader. Do you think? Yeah,
definitely. And also one of my first employee that was included in this affiliate financial websites. Yeah. I also gave him, after he has been included for a while, and he was also working with me in the SEO agency before. So after he did an amazing job. And when he started working for me, he has debt, so he was, but now when we ended this, he had a percentage of the sales. So now he's a millionaire instead, at least in Swedish francs. Yeah. So, it brings back to this with becoming loyal. And
I believe I think that makes you really happy, like not just earning.
Extremely happy.
Yeah. It even makes you happier than your own earning, I believe, like benefits.
Yeah, really.
It multiplies the happiness really, really in a good way. I'm happy to see.
Yeah. And he also told me something that one of my older employees, when he started working with me in the SEO agency, one of my other employees, he told that guy when he was new in the company that just stick to Matyas and just believe, invest your life, just believe in him and follow his advice. If he says right, go right, and everything will be amazing. And I didn't know about this until after the deal was closed, and he told me this, and it really it made me so happy. Really,
it's like approval for the true leadership. Like they just trust you, they follow you, and you also think about them. It's like the real companionship. It's really nice to see. Actually, the phrase or the concept company comes from companionship. It's like group of companions. We call it company. Yeah. So it's the true philosophy behind the company. Actually, so it's nice to see that.
It's a deep thing, but it's very logic. Yeah. Actually.
And about the affiliate marketing, I guess you started from the internet service providers for your first website to the affiliate job. And what other industries were you in?
Different industries with affiliate.
Yep.
Yeah, I have been running a lot of websites with affiliate, but the bigger ones that I also has sold has been related to. I have the leading website for SIM cards. It was in 2015, and also TV subscriptions, mobile subscriptions. We also had the grocery bags and a lot of general review websites. And
but you also know how to develop websites, I believe. You know coding, right? Because you were checking these things since you were in high school, I guess.
Yeah. At least, I understand code. I can interpret it, but I would not call myself a coder, but at least I can understand things and, understand what can be done in which way. And, but it's not, I haven't like to work with coding specifically. So, but I can
understand the programmer, and you are able to communicate with them, I believe, and you are able to examine competitors' structure. Okay.
Absolutely.
Did you get any manual penalty during your career, or multiple times, I guess? But I'm just asking for learning.
Yeah. It has been a lot. It was early in. I think the first time was in 2013 or something like that, when all this blasting of bulk backlinks, 2013, 14, something like that. And you could use, foreign links also to a Swedish website without an issue. So, and a lot of penalties related to backlinks, and also related to keyword stuffing. And
were you able to remove these manual penalties by changing your backlink structure or on-page SEO implementations?
But the problem has been that it has been so many things that changed, and also many times that we just throw the website away because it hasn't been one of the. We hasn't taken this big risks of the more important websites, and we also get rid of the problem with changing domain at 301 redirects. And,
So basically you save yourself from that website and you look for the new ones, I guess, mostly.
Yeah. I have always built multiple websites. So I have, some that I can really, push the limit. So I know where is the limit. There is a friend also told me about, he said he's the best driver. He has, smashed the car 9 times, but he says, I know where is the limit. You don't, I know where, because you need to crash to know where's the limit. And it's, you can relate it to SEO. So okay, this was too much, or this was too fast, or no, we can't push it this hard.
I would suggest people to actually create multiple websites in the industry so that you can actually understand what type of updates are affecting what type of pages or size with multiple approvals. And you can also dilute your risk, basically. It will be way easier. I believe so too. And
it also helped when we had the credit card website. We tested multiple angles and multiple tests, because then it was so easy to measure what helped and what didn't help, because then we went for one to really build like a brand with citation and directories and mentions and stuff like that, and another one blasting with links, another one with testing pouring backlinks to see if that could work. So that also helped, because we were competing in the exact same industry, so we could measure it in a different way too.
And what would you find the cost of this testing process for multiple websites? Let's say your total cost is 100,000, and this testing, would it cost also extra 20 or extra 50 or extra another 100?
Actually, I try to always invest a percentage of the revenue in testing specifically. So we had like an testing part inside the company that was only used for exactly this purpose. So it also depends on how big you want to, or in which industry you're into, and what type of website you're into. But at least I can talk from my own perspective in Sweden. And if you are going for a credit card, you need to invest, maybe at least $20,000-$30,000, something like that. But we also have ran multiple tests on review websites for lawn movers, where we just invested 1 week and nothing else. So
also have a common Search Console dashboard to check all these websites' performance in a single place. Did you create something like that customized?
No, we haven't.
So you were checking them one by one?
Yeah, we did.
And just as a suggestion, you can use Google Search Console API to get all the data and reflect them into a single place. And I also want to learn, do you put all these websites into a single Search Console account, or do you distribute them to the different mail addresses? Or
different ones. And of course, back to the other question, we have used it to connect to, we used tools like, of course, Ahrefs and Phrase. We also tried,
so it's give it to you from a single place.
So, but not in a bigger perspective, in a more geeky way.
Did you also test the design related elements? Like, let's say when you have a mega menu, maybe it is affecting negatively. Maybe when you have a full width header, it is affecting positively. Did you test these type of layout type of or related things?
Only from a UX perspective, where we're trying to optimize the conversion rate. And of course it also affects the ranking as well, because we get a better time on site and stuff like that, but not specifically related to the menu. Of course we try to move around to have more pages listed in the menu, but it was more from an hierarchy way of structured the website to increase to get a better way of crawling the website.
Did you do any measurement, like the percentage of the boilerplate to the main content, or the amount of, let's say, average link per web page? Did you do any statistical analysis, or did you just usually check maybe order of the components? I'm just trying to understand the profile of this test. That's why I'm asking.
We have tested multiple ways, and definitely, and we came also to the point that because we had the issue with a lot of websites that we had blasted internal links, for example, and also put elements in a non hierarchy logical way also as well. And now it seems like you're a note taker.
It's okay. It can die.
Yeah. Okay.
We have other two.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, so we have tried definitely different strategies for different websites, and also to see how Google is crawling, how the bot is crawling the website, and also try to build more better context flow of the website and the of the clusters as well.
Really nice test. Actually, I like it and I enjoy it. I enjoy research and development more than other stuff. It's just a mind game, actually. I can tell. And I also want to learn how many times did you fail before you get your huge success? Because I believe it will be representing a great example to the many people who try to do the same thing as you did.
Yeah, and that's why I was so shocked when I went to and when I first get in touch with your kind of framework, because before that, but it was after I get your knowledge and the course that I realized how much could have been done, how much could have been implemented, because before we couldn't really understand why some things happened and why this page is ranking, why is this page not ranking. So it was more, the finger and feel the wind, where is it going? And of course we succeed, we grew, but not faster than anybody else in the market. But after we started implementing these stuff, which people don't even know existing. They don't even know that there is a way of doing this kind of stuff. Yeah. And people always shocked when they hear about it. So it was after that where everything went so logic. And it's also, you can think that this will take forever, but it's not. It helps you to optimize it, to make it even faster, to grow faster. And it was after that we really explode, because now it felt like we were sitting with all the answers in exactly how to do it. So it was so easy to replicate it to more and more and more and more pages and sub-pages, websites.
Yeah, I always hear this actually from my community members too. They always say that, I knew this and that and maybe this, but I never connected them to each other from the point of view of the search engine. And then they actually start to get a new vision or new understanding. That's why I call my course like a mindset course. It doesn't teach you how to use a tool. It doesn't teach you how to, export a report from Ahrefs or something. It's not about that. It's about feeling and sensing the information retrieval systems as much as possible. Okay, and I will be asking a few more questions, then I will be going for the course segment and the section, but it looks like you are frozen. I guess it will be coming back. I guess it's my connection. Okay.
Oh, I think
I am here, don't worry. That's why I have two different internet service providers.
Yeah.
I have three recorders, two internet service providers, so we are covered here. Since I moved into
but back to what you were saying, I can definitely agree. And I always tell when people asking about the course, I say it's a way of thinking, not a way of working. And it's also the interesting part of it is that you would get different explanations out of the way of doing it from different person, even if everybody did the same course.
Yes.
I mean, because you can implement it in so many different ways. And what happened with this, that it opened my mind. It really felt like, open up a new world and open up a new way of thinking. And, it feels like you're teaching the way how to think like the engineers who built the algorithm and who built Google.
Yes.
And that's what has been so valuable. Really.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It really makes me the happiest person on the planet when I hear this, because it was truly the one main goal of the course. Teaching people to think like an engineer behind the algorithm. You might be having the most quality website, but if that engineer doesn't have the conditions to find your quality signals, then you won't be able to show it to the search engine. So that's why we need to understand the way of thinking from their point of view as much as possible.
Yeah.
And in this case, I believe the topical author of the course, I guess it affected your SOPs a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot.
And some of my students, sometimes they tell me that it's very hard for them. What is the hardest thing, do you think, that in the course? Because if I tell it, probably it won't be seen like the objective, but I want to hear your angle since you also experience the same thing.
Yeah. I would say the hardest part is to first of all to get the understanding of all the words. I mean, people call it buzzwords. But it's actually a reason behind it. And it took a while before I realized, why are you using this word? Why are you not just, telling what it is or tell it how it works? But it's, after a while, it becomes logic that then you would have to explain every single piece every single time. So it makes sense to have all. Yeah. And that was the first struggle to get to understand all these points. And the next struggle, and then to combine all this together was even harder. And then, to make the strategy to not, because you can't implement just some part of it. Of course you can, but it won't affect in a real way. Yeah. And I was also thinking either I go it, all way, or we skip it. Of course, it helps because it still open up the way of thinking and stuff like that. But that was the hardest part, I would say, to also realize you can't do this you can't automate it, 100% with AI or stuff like that, because that was also the first thing I was thinking. Oh, easy. Now we just take the notes, teaching the AI of the way, and then we can automate this kind of process. But it's not about that. And also,
we always tell it.
And also to understand how you can talk about one topic, but from so many different angles. So always, keep your vision with the website, you can say, in mind when you are creating all new content. What's the reason behind your website? So
it's the most important.
So I would say that was the hardest part. And of course there are specific kind of lectures, but it's the way of implement it in the reality. And it's also so hard to explain it to employees. And but what we did is I tried to summarize it, and we have also translated a lot of stuff into Swedish to make it easier for them to implement it as well. But so I would say
it's also very, very funny. In the topical author that digital, in the homepage, I have a testimonial. He's also from Sweden. He didn't sell his website yet. That's why in his face there is an emoji, because he didn't want to be known. And he is also doing lots of translation from course to his team. He is also in the credit card niche mainly, actually. And of course, I won't be able to tell the name since he doesn't want to be known. But it's also interesting that actually the Sweden has a huge success rate in my course. Maybe the culture is more, let's say, convenient for this philosophical side or the detailed side. At least it might be. And how did you hear about the course or the case studies? How did you decide to read most of them, and how did you start to implement it?
It was just by accident when I was. I think I know the guy that you are talking about, and he is also in the loans segment. And I think that was the way, because I am analyzing all the competitors in both loan and credit cards, and I saw that somebody was working, and I had to find out, why is this website succeed? And I realized all the structured data, on the website, and I started to find a pattern kind of, and then I realized with all this, I came over this with using entities more, and how I also saw how the algorithm started to understand also Swedish in a different way, because before, for example, let's say for feature snippets, it will always bolded the keyword, but then it started to bolding the answer. so it could understand in a way different way. And I also saw that semantically relevant words was almost always included in the answers of this feature snippets. Yeah. So that was the way. So I started to research semantic SEO analysis, and then
the same person.
yeah. So it was that way that I found out about your website. Started to read the case studies, and then realized, this guy would never invest this much of time just for no reason. So so it really, grabbed my attention, even if it was very hard to understand it. And then I realized, fuck, the course is not open, so I can't even purchase it. And I was just waiting. I tried to reach out to different peoples, which are well known. I purchased a lot of consultant hours from Charles Sloat as well. I asked him, can you talk to this guy? I need access to the course. And so it was just by accident after researching my
it's very interesting coincidence, I can tell. Because for the first year, I kept my course closed for 1 year to just prove a point, because I'm not trying to sell it. And even if you have the money, you might not be able to purchase it. Just for some people, I have given just backdoor URLs, because they were sincere in their request. And once I did the point, I just opened the gates one more time. And it was, I guess, something unique also, because many people wanted to buy, but I didn't sell. So I wanted to show them it's not for your money, actually. It's for changing a little bit the industry by starting and giving a new culture. We can make money from anything as SEOs, actually. It doesn't have to be from there or this place. I also, now I understand why he is hiding his face, to be honest. Probably he didn't want to lose his competitive advantage, but I guess he is caught anyway. So I hope he doesn't get angry to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you start to teach our methods framework to your teammates, did they tell that this is too complicated, it's too hard, it's like a new language? And why do we do that? Yeah. We can rank with just links, and we don't need to.
No. People are not questioning me internally. They rely on me, and understand also that I'm doing it for a purpose. I was not questioned, but I also tried to give them access to check it and check the documentations, and but they couldn't get it. So then I realized, okay, fuck, I had to be the one to teach it further to them, and also make more guidelines in the way, because they couldn't implement it. And so it was hard for them to understand it, and they lost the interest quite early, which I can understand. Many people do if they are not, because in the SEO industry, if you're looking for all the courses, it's almost always like this, that you're looking for this quick fixes. Okay, you can do this hack, or you find this prompt, or you find this
bombs, nuggets. I know.
Yeah, exactly. This quick things that you can earn. And of course, we're also using this kind of stuff for feature snippets and some link tricks. But this is something else. This is like going back to school. So you have to be patient, and it takes time, and it won't be enough of just going through it one time. First you're going through it one time, then you have to go through it a second time, and also taking notes, because otherwise it's impossible to connect it to each other. And then after that, I took also, I rewatched it again, some specific parts of it to really get it. And then we started to make the strategy and how should we implement it. And then started to teach the other one as well, in the way of thinking, the way of implement stuffs. And then it's skyrocketed, and people were really, open up their eyes and see what are they doing, and the ones who now only say like there is something magically with this website, but it's not. But people who don't have the knowledge, of course, they don't understand. They can't really put the finger on why.
It's actually the best side, I believe, in this course too, because it's not easy to do. But once you do that, you are like the only one who can see the full picture. They just see the parts, but you see the entire network which supports each other. Yeah, I believe it creates the biggest advantage there. Exactly. I can definitely agree with that. And
I can also say it's also interesting because I do some consultations with others, and they think they have did everything. They think they have knowledge about everything, but when we're starting to just touch all the points, they realize, I could never imagine that this a factor, but what you're saying is logic, and I could tell people exactly why they are not succeed, or they try to get back from a penalize, but they just change their top most important 10 pages, and this easy stuff, and no contextual flow during the content and internal linking. That are the most common ones that you can.
Content.
Yeah, not at all. And how to write subheadings. They're just either copying the competitors. And that I can also tell that was the main thing that really helped us. We never looked at the competitors, not at all. And I was so pissed, at one of my employees because he kept on doing it anyway. And I told him, I will shut off your internet, if you keep on, because if we are just following the ones who are ranking at the top right now, which are, in my eyes, after I got the knowledge, doing a terrible job, many of them, of course, we will never succeed. Yeah. Because we have, just trusting me, we do our own way, and we did everything extremely different from the competitors. So that's the biggest issue. Of course, it's amazing for someone who is new in the industry, but don't look at your competitors. It doesn't mean that because they are ranking number one, it doesn't say that everything is good. Yeah. And that can be for billion different reasons.
There's one thing that I always say, do not just, let's say, imitate the SERP. You should go beyond that, because if you just imitate it as already ranking website, you'll be just amplifying their rankings because you are just being more similar to them. Then search engine will ranking them, not you. You should do beyond them, actually. And that's why actually, maybe I didn't add everything to the course. Actually, to be honest, the long version of the course is 85 hours. Still, I didn't publish it because it's, the beta testers, they all told me that it's too much academic, too long. No one will finish it. So then I compressed everything to the 9 hours in 2 years. So in the long version of the course, actually, I am explaining these document clustering methods that they are using. And whenever you are becoming more similar to the already ranking documents, you are actually making them stronger. If you are different enoughly, then you are an alternative for a different document cluster. And if you are representative of that cluster, then you are actually increasing your rankings in a way much better way. It is also one of the always main angles there too. And in your methodology, did you use any page rank sculpting, for instance, for actually a methodology that we create already sculpt the page rank for most important pages? But for instance, did you calculate the total internal links that you have? Did you try to calculate maybe the page rank for every different segment that you have? Not with a tool or something, maybe just from the mind as well.
Yes, we did, definitely. And it was also hard to not go too deep into just focusing on the most income generating sub pages, kind of, I would say. And of course, you get an understanding from tools like Ahrefs and stuff like that, which can help you to calculate this. But we could see how we could strengthen a specific cluster in different way of trying to impact the page rank for one specific page or the pillar page, you can say, for easy understanding.
Did you perform any log file analysis to communicate the search engine or to see what they are crawling the most?
Yeah, we did, and also to get understanding of the crawl budget and the how often it's getting crawled. And also if we are publishing, because of course we generated some AI, not AI content fully, but we, get a big draft out of it. So we also, and we also ran a lot of tests with following how quick we could publish new content to see if we are publishing too fast or, if connected to how our crawl budget is increasing, how often they are crawling the pages. And we also got that benefit after a while where we could publish a website before lunch and we can rank number one, 3, 4, 5 hours later. It was really like that. We had a lot of subpages from our cluster where we could get this. Yeah. But so we had definitely analyzing the log files to see how are they crawling the website, how often, and that's the mainly thing that we have.
That's always one thing I say, because sometimes I tell people to add just one page to your header menu, footer menu, and most of the main content, and check whether the search engine crawls it more or not. If you link it more, and despite that it is not crawled more, it means that the search engine doesn't care about your internal links that much, which is a big problem. So it means that you don't have a logical structure in the site, and that's why the search engine doesn't follow your actually internal link signals as it should be. And that's why I'm trying to create actually a logical hierarchy in the semantic content network first, according to the topic, which brings me to the topic prioritization. Did you adjust what topic you are prioritizing in terms of publication order, publication frequency? Did you try to adjust it?
Yeah. And that was the biggest issue because we already had the website when we started to implement this. So we had a lot of different angles from the clusters already targeted. Mm-hmm. But what we did then was to start to take it with consideration how close connected it is related to our core topic or main purpose of the website. So that was the main way. And then at the last time we took the outer clusters and the info content that are most far away from our main. So
trying to find a loophole in your project, but it doesn't come out, like you do. You really learn and you really do it. I can see it right now. It makes me happy. Maybe now I will find a loophole or something. Asking one more. How did you adjust your momentum, which means publication and update frequency? And I guess you check maybe your competitors, like how stale or outdated they are. Did you perform these type of checks?
No, we didn't take it to consideration with the competitors actually, but we're rather trying to make sure to not have a specific pattern, as you're talking about in the course, to not be specific to publish only between working hours, Monday to Friday, and not publishing 3 new info content each day. So, and it's maybe a little bit too early to say that, it really worked, but we get, all the content indexed. We had nothing that didn't get indexed. But we trying to be as non-calculated as possible, and
patternless, basically, as much as possible.
Yeah, patternless. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One main advantage in the course, I believe, is that I have shown actually pilot projects, and in these pilot projects, I did everything as it should be, as much as possible, and these clients were lucky. And the good sign is that the project files were live. So the people were able to check the live website together with actually all the updates, all the mistakes that actually also the client website is doing as well. And I guess it is also helpful for people to see, okay, we have a content brief, we have a topical map, but we also have the website, and we can actually try to align it or integrate it to our industry as well. And question. Did you hide your affiliate links from the Google bot, or did you just show them with sponsored links or no follow? What type of policy do you have there?
Yeah, we tried different ways there as well. We're trying to build our own plugin, to also put a delay, on the redirection to see if that affects also the way of Google to understand the affiliate link. And that's also hard to say it worked because, we implemented so many things, but that was one of the things that we did to try to make sure that we are not an affiliate website. And we also try to not make sure to, even due to the fact that we're trying to hide it, we try to outlink, as less as possible, and not to make sure that we are bringing, of course, some kind of value. We are a website. We have a purpose with the website, and we are not just an informative that's replicate information from other websites.
Thanks for saying it. I always say this is really important. And did you use any semantic HTML tag, or maybe you didn't need it as well? Which one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were working a lot with rich data and schema markup in different ways as well, and how to affect it on the subheadings
Okay.
So a lot of technical.
I have to know that. About the monetization of the project, I guess, of course, you have the affiliate, but did you also have display ads in the website?
No, not at all. Nothing.
Nice. Because in my opinion, it just decreases the value and the brand value, and also the efficiency of the website. It doesn't worth it, actually. The display ad is a good signal. Definitely.
And I can also say, I have a lot of competitors which are trying to, as soon as they are driving traffic to an info content, they're also trying to monetize it, to put affiliate links, to put the credit cards there without links. And I think that's a huge fail that people do. They're trying to monetize every single page that are generating traffic. Yeah. Because if you have, links out from your website of the top 50 of all the top 50, incoming with the subpages with the highest traffic, it's so extremely
decreasing the value of the website, actually. Basically.
Yeah, and we used a tracking tool to track how our info content were generating income, because we could track that people coming to an info content click further to a review or a money page, and then become generating an affiliate commission. So we still earned a lot of money from info content, but not putting any affiliate links on that specific content. We're just trying to, in a good way, interlinking instead, and pushing the visitor to keep on, moving further the page.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So in this case, you also create some user journey visualizations to see where they are coming from and where they are leading to. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you also gather the mails, phones, names, leads from different form or elements in your website?
I can say, I wish I could sit here and say yes, because we should have done it, but we didn't. We were, there is a lot of regulations as well, also in Sweden, connected to if you're not allowed to give financial advices, you can only inform. So that was also, because I wanted to put a lot of filtering function connected to AI, like based on your age and where you're living and your behavior and what's important for you. This is what we can recommend. And then to be given the result, they have to put their email and stuff like that. And I can see a lot of bigger competitors in different niches who are implementing these stuff and do it and are generating a lot of income from it. But no, we didn't do it. But we should have been done it, very, very much more earlier in the process.
Did you check the trend of the brand search demands? Did you check whether people search for your? Okay.
Yeah. And that, and I can say that was one of the biggest benefits, I think, from the success with the website compared to some of the other websites that we did almost exactly the same thing, but we didn't really, because some of them were an exact match domain, which makes it even harder to build a brand for it, because you also then has to be consistent in the approach of how you're talking to it, as a brand. It's really hard. And it was already did in the wrong way from the beginning. So we tried to get Google to understand in different angle or way, but it was very, very hard. And I can also see that pattern in Sweden in general with affiliate website, that the ones who are really building it as a brand for real. And we also created with this success, with the most successful website, we created everything to get Google to understand, like Google My Business, Trustpilot, citations. We published on.
How did you gain the reviews? Did you also maybe just offer $5 per review to the customers, or did you use phone calling, or did you just show them a pop-up or something?
Oh, it was on the website. We highlighted it, and if you find this valuable, we will be very happy to. So we're trying to build the tools and the valuable information on the website with specific insights, from statistics and stuff like that, and trying them to ask for a review, and also from the social profiles. We also created YouTube videos to make it to make it really personally. And I think that's also helped to build the trust as a brand. So, of course, the main goal, if we would have increased, if it hasn't been, an exit connected to it, the main goal was to build, of course, an entity out of the brand to get it a real entity for real in the knowledge graph as well. The website we really treated in this way, and we also put up editorial guidelines, press subpage, real author pages for like real author pages, humans. And videos, nations. Yeah, really humans. And also with that university can request for this. I don't know. I forgot the word for it now. When you can get an amount of money when you have did an exam, for example, you can send it in. You can get rewarded. So we also get a lot of government links from universities and from a lot, both in Sweden and foreign countries. So I think that also helps to.
It's really great, actually. And about the technology stack, what type of CMS? You say plugin, so I guess it was WordPress at the backend.
Yeah.
I assume also you designed a customized, unique theme to show uniqueness on the website as well. And was it really costly, or was it really hard to design a customized theme for you?
No, actually, it was not.
People think that actually it's very hard, is something that they shouldn't do, but actually whenever you use a free WordPress theme, it's not a good signal to be filtered as a brand. Actually, you should have a real, real touch for your own brand identity on your website as well. And also lots of AI generated websites, they usually use the same theme, and it just increases the confidence of the machine learning systems to claim that you are also one of them. You wear the same clothes with them, basically, when you use
exactly. And it wasn't even expensive at all. I have a very good. We worked with one developer from Ukraine, and it was not expensive at all. If you see the outcome from it, and it's so important, especially if you really want to do this as a business. It's not just a side job, or you're testing out. If you really want to do it, you need to have a developer, because otherwise you will never move anywhere. And we can also build a lot of specific functions on the website, reduce the code on the website to increase the speed and the loading speed, and also specifically make sure we have, let's say you do an e-commerce, you don't want to go for maybe WooCommerce, you build your own because you get so much shit that you don't need. So
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. And when it comes to the topical authority methodology, when do you think that you have seen the initial results from that? How many months or how many years do you believe that you started to see some outlier effect that you didn't see earlier?
Yeah, I would say after the next, when we have started to implement this stuff, after the core update that came after that, and after every specific core update, we're just increasing. And so it was really like we reached the top, where we were lying there, get a new core update, jump into, a new
level
kind of step. Really like that. So we have a bottom level and a higher level after every single core update.
Ranking scales and scales. And in terms of competition with the banks, so there are lots of affiliates who try to compete with e-commerce, and there are lots of affiliates who try to compete with the banks. How did you manage to, let's say, compete organically with some banks? Because they are high page rank, they are authoritative, they are huge brands, but you have some common organic search terms that you need to rank together with them. What do you think about it? What did you implement for that?
Actually, some of the reward programs for the credit cards, we were outranking their own subpage, from some of them specific reward subpages, which is really, really, it's fun to see. But the thing we did it is to try to come up, in a not so informal way. We took benefit from all the banks is very, very small amount of content. It's hard to get any real deep information as well. And so we're trying to attack it from different angles to make Google really feel like this is high valuable information. You can get it in a better UX way. You can get more personal, specific.
You made it your advantage, because whenever you were outranking them or you were more relevant than them, basically, Google was actually putting you even further prioritization, because you were even outranking the main authorities. So it's actually a good ranking algorithm, convincing methodology as well. We also show it sometimes in the course as well. Whenever you have a strong competitor, if they are weak from a point, you should always actually choose that point to prove your authority, to be replaced with them as well. And about artificial intelligence, did you create your own GPT agents to help your employees with these SOPs or implementators?
I think I lost you for a second. Sorry. Can you say again?
Yeah, the internet service provider just automatically.
It's changing.
I was asking that actually, did you implement any GPT agent for helping your employees for certain tasks?
Yeah. Yeah, we use, because I'm also extremely interested in different automation setups with them. So we are using no-code setups like Mate.com and stuff like that, where we are connecting the APIs. We also, so we have used AI a lot, to do the hard work for us. And also we build the schema for the way to structure our new subpages. We were using that schema and then grab information from tools like Perplexity for fact checking and to get specific, variables and examples of, specific details, not just general text information, which ChatGPT and stuff like are giving you in generally.
I'm always training actual people, and sometimes they just ask the question that we are asking to the GPT, and they just try to edit it, but it's so obvious because even the listed items are in the same order with the same parentheses, and they always leave these signatures around, and they never commit. You say something really important there. You say that I am deadly committed to the website because my life depends on that. And many SEO projects are not like that. They just try and they don't care their life is depending on that. And what niches would you always stay away? For instance, are there some niches that you don't suggest any affiliate marketer?
Yeah, I can say both from a personal level, but it's more connected to how I feel. I don't like to earn money from people's addiction or, from people's misery. But I will highly suggest, to not go into something. Don't try to compete in a too competitive niche just because you want to earn a lot of money. If you're not going to do it for real, because there is no reason you're going into credit cards, payday loans, casinos, and stuff like that, or crypto, if you're not going to do it full time, because then you will not succeed. You will just waste your money. To start easy, to get some golden nuggets quick, so you can get some, But so I would say, and also, mainly avoid review websites. And, and also I wouldn't try to build just a content affiliate website. Try to find an angle where you can get different income from different channels, like either YouTube, because people are really worried about putting the face on YouTube so you can stand out from the crowd doing this kind of stuff. also, or from TikTok or email or whatever it's going to be. So get more income sources, don't just do and no review websites, they will.
Project, did you also diversify your traffic sources? For instance, when you get traffic from Twitter, TikTok or Facebook or different type of places?
Yeah. From the website that we really tried hard to get to build the brand for, we did it. So we had some good traffic also from YouTube, and we could also see that the YouTube videos were also start ranking. So we could see that it's also a good signal, and that was also something that made us stand up from the crowd. Either if we just did it in a quite small way, or and but we try to diversify the sources.
You realize that the Google is crawling faster your website or more whenever you are actually being ranked on social media platforms too. Even in the URL inspection tool, in the referred page section, you can actually see TikTok, YouTube.
As
well. So I was supposed to ask actually, did you use any audio, video, or visual content like unique images or unique infographics as well?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that's that's mandatory, I would say. Don't go for this, Canva picture and stuff like that. We had none of them. We were only using, manual picture. We were generating them internally. And if you do it right with just good templates, you can do it very quick and it looks so much better. And it also grabbed the attention in the SERP as well. So it's increasing your CTR and also some other benefits. But we invested in and also created a plugin for generating statistics. So we're not just added, pictures of statistics, because we wanted to help Google to understand that from the code side that, here's statistics. It's also a signal that we are unique. And so we're trying to implement all this kind of stuff, everything that we could come up with.
A little holistic SEO, I can tell. For the local SEO context, you mentioned the Google Business Profile. And for your Google Business Profile, did you compare it to your competitors, or did you target any specific region? Did you place your GPP to the Stockholm, since the most of the population?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not from there, but we did it. So it's still connected there. So we took it in Stockholm, and due to the fact that there are, more people there. And then we also needed to be consistent with that. And we also targeted to get some news related articles, local newspapers online, of course, to mention and to get an article and a link to our website, and also try to come up with some PR strategy ideas, to get articles from websites which are not selling backlinks. And
so basically you use natural logical links in this case to support the brand signals and also the authority of the source as well.
And I can also say another thing that I'm sure helped a lot, and it also was confirmed now with the leak as well, with the relevance and the links and stuff like that. But what we did is to not just extract and use the right entities and semantic relevant keywords in the articles. We purchased articles with the purpose of getting them ranking. So many of our articles, there are the top 5 most important subpages, where we have links from now articles that we generated on niche specific websites, which are now ranking and linking to us. So it's so that has helped. People are not doing this. They are just asking in ChatGPT text, and it's not on my website anyway. But that's important, I would say.
In the patterns, actually, for instance, the next Friday, probably when this is published, it will be like last Friday, I will publish an interview with Irfan Azimi, who actually leaked the Google Content Warehouse API code. And in the patterns, actually, we call it topic sensitive page rank. If the pages are closer to each other in terms of topics, they will pass more page rank. And if the page also has historical data from that topic, it will again be multiplied. So this design directly was in the patterns, and it is also inside their Google API leak as well. Which brings me one of the final questions, actually. Do you trust Googlers or their announcements, or do you... Okay.
Not at all. Not at all.
I am asking. I know the answer already, but I just wanted to show it to the audience.
No, I listen to Koray. That's the only guy,
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me. And what would you suggest to the Topical Authority course students, trainees, to the community members, or any person who starts to learn just SEO? What would you tell them?
I would say to definitely take the course to get the right understanding and do it from the beginning, because it helps you so much if you implement this from the beginning. It's so hard, but it's still possible to implement it. I mean, because I can imagine that a lot of people thinking, no, how would I do this? Because I already messed up my website. But we did it. We implemented it, and it took a while, but we get a huge benefit from it. So I would definitely say go for the course and make sure to be consistent. You know, it takes time, but let it take time, and do the manual preparation of work, you know, build the content plan and everything and all the outlines. So, because it makes the job so easy, so extremely easy. These are the biggest issues that people are struggling with, I would say. Almost everyone I'm talking to don't even have a content plan. They don't even have clusters, where to interlink or what's connected to each other. There are some so basic stuffs that has to be made. So do the preparation work, you know, and don't try to rush, because there is no way to do it. Yeah, but opinion, when you get it.
Yeah. Whenever people follow the shortcuts, it takes longer time, actually. I can't.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The final part. And do you think that SEO will be dead one day?
I mean, as people say, nothing lasts forever. Yeah. And I'm sure, but the thing is that I take so much benefit from this in my entire life. It's not just from SEO, because it helps me with automations that I'm doing. Marketing, so it's definitely, because it's, as we discussed, it's a way of thinking. So that's why I'm so grateful and so thankful to you, Koray, because even if it's SEO, I'm sure I will, you know, I will take benefit from this knowledge in my entire life, you know, in every kind of business and things I'm really. So, but to answer the question, SEO in the way it is right now, yeah, of course, sooner or later it will change, but just make sure to keep on, you know, changing when things are changing. There will always be, you know, person. Yeah. So no.
Room for growing and adapting. Yeah.
Definitely.
And to the last one. So because people will be wondering this about the pricing a website, how do you calculate it? For instance, you get an offer, you give an offer again. How many months do you negotiate? The legal preparations, what type of a process actually you are following there to protect yourself and also the buyer as well?
Yeah. That's the biggest issue also when you have an interested persons who want to purchase, because you can't give out letter of intent to more than one company at a time. And of course, you also want to protect your own data, because you don't want to share it as well. But during the calculation of it, everybody are doing it different. You know, some companies are evaluated from ROI, and they want to get the money back between 3 to 5 years, you know, something like that. And it also depends on the niche and the market, of course. I mean, I see review websites in Sweden that are sold for 20 multiples from the monthly revenue. But in this kind of niches, you can also get up to 40, sometimes even 50, you know, multiple from the monthly revenue. So, but it depends also how much is the cost and expenses of manage the website, and what is your market position. I mean, if you have a market position, if you really are a competitor, you know, and your competitors want to get rid of you, of course, you can push up the price. But in general, I would say like between 30 and 35, you know, multiples from the month to get it.
It's, I guess, having a brand, email list, social media channels, they're also increasing the price. So much. So, I mean, there are so many other stuffs that can really, change it, depending on that. And you can also discuss at least when you're coming up in a little bit bigger amount, there are always some other benefits you can get from it, and a different way of getting outpaid, or, you know, some revenue of the coming income for a period. And I mean, there are so many different ways to not just exit with for
30 multiples. It's not that easy to answer that kind of question for bigger websites.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask it at the end, because even if you do everything and you are successful, selling the website is another big task. And it's not
really.
And there are like years of work, and everyone just depends on that. There is hope, and the negotiation there is not that easy as well. And do you usually do these negotiations face to face, like going to the office of them and showing the data, or do you also handle it from the web?
It depends, of course, depending on if you are if you have the buyer want to buy the website from the other part of the world, and if it's not a big website. But if it's locally in the same country, I would definitely recommend to go to meet each other, because it also makes it so much more serious, and you will make everything so much more easy as well. And at least from my own perspective, every time when I'm selling something, I'm so aware of my personal brand, because that's more important than every single penny in the world. So I want to make sure that I am satisfied, the buyer is satisfied, and they get what they are expecting to get. But I would say, of course, to meet, especially me as a salesperson. I like to meet, to be able to touch, to talk to each other. Yeah. Shake hands.
But after the sale, if they don't know your methods, how the situation will go from there, for instance, because they might have hard time to understand what you did actually and to sustain it. Did they ask anything about it?
Yeah, of course. And I can say, especially if you're somebody who wants to acquire a website from and you don't have the knowledge about this approach, and the ones who are selling a website are not going to follow in the company, and none of the managers or employees and stuff like that would not follow in the sales, I wouldn't even recommend to buy, because you would screw everything up. And that was, at least from my own perspective, that was a requirement, a mandatory to get, some of the
support, basically.
Otherwise, it would never happen. And
they will need some guidance to understand the structure inside, actually, and it will be benefiting them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Matyas, I believe we are over already 80 minutes, but for me it was like 20, to be honest. It was really...
Yeah, me too.
Really fun. And I believe this is one of the most useful SEO podcasts ever, because lots of questions were like direct, like, did you do this? Did you do that? And how did you do that? Why did you choose this? And you were very direct and transparent as well. It's not something that everyone is doing, and I really appreciate it. And for anyone in the industry and in our community as well, from bottom of my heart, I also thank you too for your mail, for your also help and sincerity to come to this interview and tell the truth as well. And I hope we will be able to see you in our conference, maybe June 2025, maybe in the next year, in our mastermind in the Kuşadası as well. You are always welcomed. And the house is not ready yet, but if I show you, there are some poles.
It looks amazing. It looks amazing. I am already looking forward to...
Yeah, we have sauna, hammam, and I will be happy to have you here with your family whenever you want.
I appreciate it. I'm already looking forward to come. And thank you so much once again, and also to the community as well. Without the Facebook group, I can also say it would also be hard, because it helps also a lot. And that's why now I also want to give back, to other people. And that's something that really great. It gives me so much value to see other people's success. Really, I love it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Koray. Thank you.
Okay, my friends. So this is the end of this specific podcast. We will be having new faces as well in the future. And always you can reach out to the Matyas, whatever you want to ask, but don't overwhelm him. And please don't fill the inbox with everything, but I believe it will be helpful for everyone. See you in the next ones. Okay.
Thank you.
I guess it was
amazing.
Yeah, it was natural, improvising. I didn't calculate most of the questions as well, but once we keep everything genuine, it just comes out and everything.
Yeah. I can say, I was also so nervous. It was the first time I was nervous for years. I can tell.
Really?
Yeah, because, also, of course, I don't feel nervous about the knowledge, but, when you're talking with somebody, that you're really looking up to as well, and it really has, the even deeper knowledge as well. And I don't want to, look bad, and I also want to perform as well. And and it's also a new situation, to talk in this publicly way. But I really like it. It was very fun and very natural, as you said.
I believe definitely you should actually go to some SEO conferences to explain your knowledge, because people will really appreciate it. And for our conference too, I can even change the dates according to your actual convenience. People really will be happy to listen to your success. Because one thing that I really don't like in the SEO conference is that just the agency owners sponsors the event and they go on stage. Yeah. But rather than that, actually, true successful, knowledgeable people should actually go there and talk and help other people. And you were completely natural and you were direct, and it was like question, answer. Did you do that? Yeah. Did you do that? No, because of this. And it will be like a quiet line to the people, and you will be benefiting.
Yeah. And I also, because I also really because after the sales became official, a lot of people reached out, and wanted to purchase consultant hours. So I did it, sometimes now, and I love to do it because I love to help people and I love to give them everything. I have nothing that I'm hiding. I'm helping with everything that I know, because it also brings me so much value. And I also realized, I have so much things that I can implement now and get, very, very good effect tomorrow also as well. I mean, there are so many small pieces from the way of that you are thinking that they can implement, that even if they are not going for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours, they still get a lot of knowledge from it. And so I feel
if you want, they can also put your mail or something like that to the description area, to the screen as well, and they can reach out to you directly, whichever channel.
Yeah, actually, I will publish. I have created a website for myself, so it will be published tomorrow or Tuesday. I think on Tuesday, so I can. I can also
give it to the directly, like every 10 minutes, and at the end, at the beginning, and to the description area too, so that they can actually reach out to you, because we also need people like you. They usually come to me with the questions, but I don't have enough energy to handle everything. Like I am just married this year, and I'm trying to.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations!
That's why this house is actually prepared for moving out from Istanbul and also creating a new order. But people always messaging me like, "What should I be doing here?" I want to be helping them as well, but it's very hard to deal with 30,000 people.
It's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible.
That's why I need leaders like you, definitely. And I believe that you'll be getting really good amount of benefit from your sincerity and generosity.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's very fun. And as I said, it's really genuine. I really want to give back. I really want, because I feel like I have to, like I owe it, because I get so much from it. So now it's my time, to also bring some back. So I'm more than happy.
Matyas, as your employees say, you have a true leadership character. I can definitely tell. It's in you. I can sense it directly.
Thank you. Well,
please convey me all of your communication channels, and we will be happy to give every type of channel, whichever you want, as you wish. And I believe the community will be watching this a lot. I can even put this inside the course to help them, and they can also watch it. I believe it will be helpful if you also approve. And I guess that's it for now. And from time to time, we should talk with each other as well. I will be happy to help you in as well. And I look forward to meet together. If I am not tired that much during the my SEO, I can just come to the London just for a meeting with you. I already know James and others, but I will be happy to spend time together. Definitely. You will. Just be careful when the James is drunk. It's important. I am telling it because
Oh, really?
Yeah. just protect your distance.
Okay. I'll make sure.
Fire stuff around him, just throw them away, so that you shall all can continue to live.
Yeah. I will keep it in mind. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to meet. It will be very fun, and you're really a true inspiration. And I'm sure our future will keep on crossing each other. I'm sure. I'm really sure. Okay. There are so many things.
I don't want to take your time more. I guess I already consumed 100 minutes.
I could sit forever. It was also when I found the course, I can say I couldn't even sleep. And also when the API leak, I couldn't neither sleep. I was deep diving into everything, and also the same with the case studies when I started to read them. So, So it's really nice.
For the API leak, I will also publish something really huge, but I'm just expecting the right time, and I'm trying to complete everything by finding patents and the API leak and the case studies and websites so that I can align everything together.
It's so many things. Yeah, it's so fun to see. You know, I was laughing when I was reading so many things. Like, and I really felt like, you know, this guy is also Turkish, right? You know, Erfan.
Iranian, but close to us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought he was Turkish. And, you know, I could really see how people are, you know, the leak person, you know, he's Turkish. Koray is Turkish, who already knew everything. Is there anything, you know, in there? It really feels like
this area.
Yeah, if I didn't knew anything about it, I would think that 100% there's an insider thing, because this is the reason why he know everything. So it was so many things that you can really see, like this is exactly what he is already talking about. I mean, it's just confirmed.
I was also telling it multiple times too, because whenever I look at this NLP parser in the API league, it's like what we tell based on the patterns, based on the case studies, it's just a property, a method, a function in the leak, and it's like translation to a different form. It was
exactly
surprising. Sometimes I'm also surprised to see that how the industry is so stubborn. You know, like how many times we should prove, how many success stories, how many case studies, how many API leaks do we need to convince them? Sometimes. Well, I guess it will be happening through the time. You know, like we can change them in one year or maybe decade as well.
Yeah, but I can see many other people starting, you know, to try to ride from your kind of stuff that you have already talked about for so long time and try to act like they also
and they know it since the beginning of the SEO, and I know they usually try to, let's say, use it without crediting, and I see it multiple times.
That's why I'm so aware of crediting you, because I always say this is the way where I learn it. So when people say, "Oh, how did you understand?" I can't even imagine how we get this. And I say, "Yeah, it's, you know, somebody teaching me. You know, it's this guy and on the course."
Thank you, Matyas. You're a chance for us. I can definitely tell your character is really unique and really virtuous. I must tell that.
I appreciate it. I wish you a continuous wonderful day with your family as well. And congratulations again, you know, to your house and the marriage as well. And I hope we meet very soon.
Thank you so much. I hope you will have a great Sunday for the rest of the day. And I will directly send this to my editor. She will be editing it. Send me to the channel so that we can also insert them to the video and multiple places. And one more time, from bottom of my heart, thank you, brother.
Thank you. Wish you the best. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.